I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the London Bulldogs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. Well, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Ravens send their punter out now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Winters over the middle. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Throwing on first down. Winters. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. Down he goes at the 23. A pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. This will be caught inside the 10. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets.
And it's caught. Touchdown. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. He finds his man Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Rolling to his right. He may try and run for this. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10. And it brings up 4th and 1.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. To throw again. Winters. Space to maneuver at the 40. Over the middle, complete. It's Walters. And all the way up to the 46. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On 1st and 10. Winters. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Back to throw. Winters. He'll run it. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw caught around the 6. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Point after, right down the middle. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. Now a hit and a loose football. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy. Because you want to...
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing is Jackson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. On 3rd down, Jackson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson. That one complete to Okoye. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Nash. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So here's the home side to take over on offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and all of a sudden here it's third down. To throw on third down. Winters. And he's got Walters. Big catch. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Winters being chased out left. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Jackson from the shotgun. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Jackson down. Throwing again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw, and that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On first down, Winters. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 31 on third down. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So two thoughts come to mind. One, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number two, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Winters looking middle, and that's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. We have hit halftime. Still due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Winters. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Winters to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense called rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 3rd down, here's the bruiser Okoye. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again with Okoye. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Jackson, he gets this one to Johnson. 20! And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They've got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Winters. He's going to fire one deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And another tackle broken. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board. And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Let's make these big.
Right back to him on 1st down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, he'll try and run it. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there. Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him. 0. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Jackson on 1st down. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Jackson to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. Now Jackson got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. David Njoku, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score. And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots.
Jackson's pass complete to David Njoku. Touchdown, Baltimore. The kicker on for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Back to throw. Winters. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And he's taken down inside the 30. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here. A rush coming, and he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Winters. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. They'll run on first down. Donnelly. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Call that a gain of 11.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
pickup of 3. Brings up second and
Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Jackson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Raven first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Complete. It's Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw again is Jackson. And it's caught. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a draw play. It's Okoye. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Here we go. Time to end it.
Rebuck.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. A big offensive...